dose of
We
Yeonmi
often say,
misinfo?
socialism.
Okay, let's just start with real comedy. Okay, let's leave the comedy to the real goats, like Yeonmi Park. Let's start here.
Worse until you run out someone else's money. It was that case for North Koreans. Socialism kind of worked until the late 80s because our economy was heavily subsidized by Soviet Union and China, and then Soviet Union collapsed, right? So they stopped helping North Korea, and the regime could not find any more a subsidy.
Wait, but she's actually not wrong about that. Like, yes, the collapse of the USSR absolutely is like one of the major reasons why North Korea had to withstand one of the worst famines of all time in the 90s that of course the sanctions didn't help with. Another incredible American crime against humanity. That's right.
Subsidy for the people. And until that moment, we are socialist paradise. We have free healthcare, free education, free housing, free public ration. And then 90s,
of course, make no mistake, the major reason as to why like North Korea and its economy had to be subsidized, there was no collapse, there was an illegal dissolution. Yes. Fine. Yes, I agree. I usually use those terms as well. An illegal dissolution. But like the idea that like I mean that these guys simply were just free riders or freeloaders is also crazy. Is like, once again, there's no, like, what were they supposed to do? They got no homies out there. If you got no homies out there helping you out and doing trade with you, what are you supposed to do? She hasn't really like said anything all that crazy so far, but I'm assuming she's going to turn around and pop off. Now, make no mistake, the reason why there is this need for help from the USSR is because of embargoes and restrictions on trade and the blockade and all of that good stuff that the world's largest superpower was pushing for.
Free housing, free public ration. And then 90s, Kim Jong-il hear about like starvation. And then people saying like, what are you gonna do? People are dying. And then he thought, actually, it's easy to do socialism when you have less people. It's easy to control people. And so why don't you let them...
What? I'm sorry. Oh, so he just let people die in the famine. Okay, here's a counter argument. If it's really hard to do socialism with a much larger population, why didn't America ensure that the DPRK population didn't die by the thousands during the famine in the 90s so that it would inevitably collapse? It's always like, it's funny because it's always like, there's always people being like, socialism collapses in and of itself, which is why we have to do everything we can to make sure it collapses. Which world's largest superpower? Brother, there ain't no way that you are trying to say, there ain't no way you're trying to say that like the USSR was a comparable superpower, especially in the 90s to the United States, right? Or in the 80s.
Die. So he decided to keep only 10% population.
He decided to keep only 10% of the population who are in the capital, like the Hunger Games. Wow. That's good. That's good stuff. 725,000 views by a channel called Socrates in the City. I love thinking that I love fancying myself to be a Greek, an ancient Greek philosopher, while simultaneously looking at like one of the silliest fabulists, okay, who doesn't even try all that hard to lie. And yet it's like people should eat that up because it perfectly corresponds to their biases, and then they jump to it, and then they just go along with it.